Hi, my name is Michele Paradise, and I'd like to welcome you to this mini course called How to Become the Best Version of Yourself with the Paradise Process. We're going to have a wonderful time on this self-healing journey. I'm going to guide you through it every step of the way. And over the next few months, I'm going to deliver the Paradise Process to you, which is made up of 4 pillars of healing. The first pillar is awareness, the second is acceptance, the third is consciousness, and the fourth is choice. And these are beautiful, flowing pattern that helps us to go on a self-healing journey. So why is awareness the first pillar of healing, and why is it that important? Because you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. So it's really important that we learn how to acknowledge our patterns, especially in that moment when we are in that pattern. And patterns come from our childhood. The first 3 years of our lives, our basic needs are to be seen, to be heard, and to be accepted and or loved. And when our needs aren't met, what happens is we develop coping strategies and survival strategies. And what they begin to look like in our lives, they can show up as perfectionism, overachieving, people-pleasing. It's really important that we learn to recognize and become aware of our coping strategies so that we can begin to change them. Because it's great to have strategies and patterns in our lives, but some of them actually get in our way, because what we develop in childhood rarely will serve us well in our adulthood, because they were childhood decisions. And that's not our fault. Our brain isn't fully formed until we're about 25 years old. So we spend a lot of time maturing and trying to process information from a very, very complicated and difficult world. So it's really a beautiful thing that we have the ability to create patterns. So in this pillar, I will talk about things like attachment styles, which you might already know about. Attachment styles that we developed in our childhood, and how we relate to our family. Now, I want to make this very clear. I don't blame family for anything, because every parent comes into their child's life with their own issues. It's called legacy trauma, generational trauma, and unless and until they go on their healing journey, they don't heal from these things, and they can sometimes bring them into our lives. Not intentionally, it's just the way things go. So on this course, we will learn awareness, and then we will learn acceptance, an acceptance of self. We realize that we did nothing wrong, that it wasn't our fault. And this isn't about fault. This is about responsibility. What happened to us, we are not responsible for, but we are responsible for what we do with it in our future. So acceptance is a beautiful pillar, because in that there's a lot of non-judgment, self-compassion, and forgiveness for self, and ultimately for others in our lives. And then we have consciousness and choice. Now, why do we need consciousness? Because it's highly researched that we spend 90 to 95% of our day in an unconscious state, doing things over and over again with our muscle memory, like driving a car, eating a meal, opening a door. So these are good things, because we don't want to have to relearn how to do them every time we see a door or sit down to a meal. So it's good to have muscle memory and store this in our unconscious. However, some of our patterns that we brought into our adulthood are also defaulting and in our subconscious, and they're getting in our way. So what we want to do is we want to raise our conscious awareness, open our mind, and then we can make better and different choices, or we can make the same choice with more knowledge and information, which is good for us as well. And this all leads to better relationships, healthier relationships for ourselves and for others that we come into contact with, especially our romantic relationships. So in the consciousness and choice pillar, I will be visiting boundaries, boundary work. There's so many people that need to work with boundaries, because what many people don't realize is we're not looking for happiness in relationships initially. We're looking for safety. We need to feel safe in order to be happy. So by creating boundaries, we create safety for ourselves and it helps us to communicate our needs with others. So I will be doing a lot with compassionate communication as well. So we learn to be seen, to be heard, and to be accepted, and we learn how to see and hear and accept our partners well. There will be many resources, and it's what I call heart work, not homework. There will be PDFs, guided meditations, journaling, and videos. So all that remains for me to say is welcome to the Paradise Process, and I look forward to you becoming the best version of yourself. See you soon.